Did you know that? Anyway, there's a big schedule out here. You can get your season tickets at kccomets.com. This is man, a lot of memories flooding back here. Very exciting stuff.
Be sure to keep track of how many four-packs we give away. I'm not going to say how many we have, but you and Marco privately keep track of that. That's one.
Gabe's keeping track right now. He's got a very elaborate system where he's writing down all sorts of information.
Let me ask you a question. You want me keeping track?
Yes, sir.
You want Gabe keeping track? Now, come on.
Oh, I trust Gabe implicitly.
Oh, really?
I don't even know what that means to say implicitly, but I trust him fully. Should I not?
I don't. Sure. Let's see where it takes us.
Right.
You heard your 44 highlights of Kansas beating Kentucky. I feel like I just listened to the entire game as the show intro. What did you think of that? You take time out of your schedule to watch that?
I could have used some more highlights personally. I mean, it wouldn't bother me if we played the whole game back. It was pretty fun. I watched it with. I don't know what I've done as a father. I hear all these stories, like my buddies all tell me stories about how much their kids are just obsessed with sports and watching games on TV, and they can't wait. I've got zero interest from my kids. My son was angry with me because I was like, hey, we're going to watch the KU basketball game tonight, He's like, oh, I like to watch the football games. And I said, well, you can like both. And also, by the way, KU basketball, pretty good program, pretty fun to watch. And then after about 5 minutes of watching, he saw the score bug, and he said, oh, we're number one in the country? Yeah, we're good, man. Like, this is Kansas basketball. It's fun, Get on board, pal. And by the end of it, he seemed like he was having a decent time. But, it was a good game. For a while, the athleticism of Kentucky looked like it was going to trump the skill and whatever you want to call it of an experience of the Kansas team, but that skill and experience won out in the end. Hunter Dickinson is everything they wanted him to be. I mean, man, 27 points, 21 boards, 15 defensive boards, 3 steals. He was incredible. DeJuan Harris was amazing in the game, 5 for 6 from beyond the arc, and that was always the biggest knock on DeJuan Harris is, not a great outside shooter. So, fun game to watch, man, yeah.
Oh, hold on here. Sorry to interrupt you. We have important news here at the Sports Radio 810 news desk. The college football playoff poll, edition number 3, was released last night, and the Missouri Tigers move up an incredible 5 spots to number 9, all the way up from 14 to number 9 after dominating Tennessee 36-7 on Saturday in Columbia. The win was the Tigers' second AP Top 15 win of the season, and now puts them in prime position, if they can win their next 2 games, to land a spot in an NY6 Bowl. Nate, back to you.
Man, if they started the expanded playoff this year, you guys would be in it.
That's right. That's exactly right.
Maybe still will be if you go win the SEC, right? That's actually on the table.
No, it's not, Nate. No, it is not.
No.
Nope. They've already. It's already been established. It's Georgia versus Alabama, both clinched over the weekend. But thank you.
Doesn't matter how many losses Alabama has, as long as they're close.
No, they both clinched.
Hey, we got a listener right here, buddy. We got a listener. What kind of hat is that, sir? Liberty North. We got a Liberty North. What's your name, sir? Rob Green is here, listening to the show.
Interview him, Nate. Come on. Get him on the mic and interview him. Find out what he's doing. Where's he going?
Yeah. Come on over here, Rob. He's got a Liberty North hat on. He was so excited to get here. Didn't tie his shoes.
Well, so what?
Didn't have time.
Right.
Wanted to get here. Hello, Mr. Green. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, sir?
Thanks for coming down. So what brought you here? I mean,
what are you doing?
You're listening to the show. You're in the neighborhood.
Leaving the Northland, headed to work this morning. So yeah, always with 810 on.
Can you say? Do you want to say where you work? You want to give a shout out? Can you? You would rather keep that to yourself? That's fine.
I was leaving home, headed to work, so I live in the Liberty area, headed to Lee Summit.
Do you want to give any free advertising to the company where you work or anything like that? Or
Yeah, I work for Aspen Contracting. I'm general manager for Aspen Contracting here in Kansas City.
Thank you.
Putting a roof on early this morning in Lee Summit.
Okay.
Well, thank you very much for listening. And do you?
Hey, Stephen,
yes.
can we inform Nate though that he is still south of the river?
I'm south of the river.
Are you?
Yeah.
Damn, I thought I was on the north side of the river. Did I not cross the river when I was driving here?
You did, but you crossed it back over on Showtime.
Look, he just found out there's casinos in Kansas City. Let him settle into this deal. All right, would you?
I'm south of the river, Stephen. I crossed the river,
Hey,
you know.
Wait, we'll cross that river when we come to it.
I guess so.
This is a big fact-finding mission for Nate today. It's like a tourist trip. He's very excited about this.
That's the
He's sightseeing. It's wonderful. Hey, well, thank you very much. We appreciate you listening. And
no, thank you guys. Go Liberty North Eagles, and Stephen, go St. Pius.
Go Liberty North.
Now you're just kissing up, man.
No.
You didn't mean that.
Go Liberty North. Go St. Pius. Go Northland. And now you, sir, go to work. All right, I don't want you to be late.
Yes, sir.
I want
Thank
you
you,
to go
guys.
Have you been to a Comets game before?
I have.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who you taking?
You get 4 tickets, man.
Who you taking with that 4-pack?
I'll be taking my wife, my daughter, and probably whatever teammate from her soccer team she wants to take.
Then you, sir, are going to have a blast. So thank you very much.
So
All
your
right.
daughter's a soccer player. Let's go.
She is.
Yeah. What
sir.
position does she play?
She plays up top. She plays forward or outside. So
There we go.
Sir, I
plays for,
suggest that you
another
leave.
shout out for the Alliance E64 girls team.
Alliance E64.
I suggest you leave
Represent.
before you get tangled in a web of a 45-minute conversation with Nate Ducati about soccer. So
Thanks,
please.
guys.
Yeah,
Thank
you'll
you,
be late
sir.
to work.
Yeah, he goes, thanks, guys. Let me get the hell out of here.
Let me get out of here.
Well, there we go.
Thanks a
How
lot for
about
coming
that?
down. Yeah.
How about was
at that,
representing Liberty North on his way out to Lee Summit to work, and he gets a 4-pack of tickets to go see the Comets, and we find out that his daughter plays soccer, and so there you go. How about that? Great job already giving away a couple of 4-packs of tickets to the Comets home opener coming up on the 26th on Sunday, and so we've started off on the right foot. Nate Bucati is becoming aware of his surroundings. It's very exciting for everyone this morning on the Border Patrol on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Welcome back to the Border Patrol on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it. You got everything settled down there, Nate?
Just had another listener stop by who got a 4-pack of tickets.
Oh, good.
So we've given 3 4-packs away. This was Steve, who is a part is a firefighter for the Kansas City Fire Department. He wanted to give a shout out because the previous listener that came down, who was saying "Go Liberty North," he said, "Hey, I went to high school at Oak Park with that guy, and Liberty North is playing Oak Park.
Go Oak Park."
So I say go Oak Park. So we got people from Liberty North and Oak Park stopping by.
That's right.
But Steve said he listens to the show every morning, and he got 4 tickets to the opener for the Kansas City Comets on November 26th.
Thank you, my friend.
We've got 3 packs we've given away so far, and we're just getting started, baby.
Oak Park's having a hell of a year. Have you been paying attention to any of the bowl projections? Does that excite you at all? You don't like?
Because still some big games left. I haven't really thought about it. No.
I'm looking at the latest bowl projections from the Athletic. We'll start with them.
Okay.
And they do have Missouri making a New Year's Six Bowl, an NY Six Bowl. They have them playing in the Peach Bowl down in Atlanta, which will be December 30th at noon. And they have Missouri and SMU in that. It's a somewhat bizarre matchup, but there it is. For Kansas and Kansas State, they have Kansas in the Texas Bowl against Kansas against Texas A&M in the Texas Bowl. And then they have Kansas State in the Pop-Tarts Bowl against North Carolina.
Where is the Pop-Tarts Bowl? I like it.
It's none of your business. The Pop-Tarts Bowl is when Marco said he wants to tell us, so he'll figure it out.
Orlando, Florida,
Is it really?
at the Camping World Stadium. Missed opportunity to call that place the Cabinet, in my opinion.
Really? How would you feel about the Texas Bowl?
I mean, look, what do
you mean,
As a KU football fan, I'm just glad they're going to go to a bowl game. So I'll take any bowl. You don't really have the right to turn your nose up to any bowl game. But in terms of destinations to go to, I mean, I guess the positive is I think it's in Fort Worth, if I remember. I remember Kansas playing in the Texas Bowl. Or is it in Houston? It's Houston.
Let's just let Nate try to figure this out. Come on.
It's in Houston.
Is it? Is it?
That's that. I'm pretty sure.
Marco's looking this up too.
I mean, I'm looking at all the sponsors: the Westin Galleria Houston, the Hilton Americas Houston, brought to you by the City of Houston. I'm just not I don't ever see myself planning a trip to Houston on for any other reason. Does that make sense? Like Orlando, okay, I'm excited to go to Orlando. Houston,
okay, Bleacher Report has Texas Bowl featuring K-State and Texas A&M, and they have Kansas in the Liberty Bowl against Minnesota.
And that's in Memphis, right?
Now, see, Memphis would be a fun place to visit. There's things to do.
Sign me up.
You can drive there.
Sign me up. Excited to go to Memphis. Drivable. There are touristy things to do there that.
Oh boy.
That you can check out Beale Street. You can check out Graceland, right? You can take in some live music, get some barbecue.
I would just go to Graceland and spend all my money there and do a 3-day tour.
Right. Who they got them playing in the Liberty Bowl?
Minnesota.
Okay, that rematch of the Insight Bowl back when a young tight pants wearing Nate Bukaty was roaming the sidelines for KU in Tempe, Arizona. Kansas beat Eric Decker's Minnesota. that was the last time KU went to a bowl game until last year, if I remember correctly.
Bleacher Report, now this could be interesting. Bleacher Report has Mizzou in the Cotton Bowl against Texas.
Ooh, SEC preview matchup. What do you think of that?
Mizzou in the Cotton Bowl may involve me driving to Texas.
Right.
I'm just going to be honest with you.
Stephen St. John being the wheelman?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, that would be on the table. That would at least be on the table. I would consider driving to that game.
Yeah.
I'd consider driving to the Peach Bowl, but that would be less likely. It would be more likely for me to drive to the Cotton Bowl.
Good memories of playing in the Cotton Bowl, right?
Oh, yeah. I've seen Mizzou win the Cotton Bowl twice, so I'll take that.
That's pretty cool.
I'd take that in a heartbeat. I don't know. I mean, the Peach Bowl would be cool, too. Mizzou's never played in the Peach Bowl. See, I love this. This is because, I mean, it's a big-time bowl. Don't rain them up for anybody.
Kansas versus Texas A&M doesn't really. I don't. There's just nothing about Texas A&M or Houston in that area really excites me. The idea, you mentioned KSU versus North Carolina. What about Kansas versus North Carolina? Because you're like two traditional basketball powerhouses that are all of a sudden good in football. That would be kind of fun, wouldn't it?
See, now you're thinking. Now you're trying to figure things out.
Yeah,
finally.
now you got me thinking about it.
Right.
Would I rather be in Memphis, Orlando, or Houston? I would rank in order Memphis, then Orlando, then Houston. If I'm just in terms of like where I want to go to watch my team play.
All right. ESPN has Mark Schlabach also has Missouri and Texas in the Cotton Bowl. And then the other guy has Mizzou and Tulane in the Peach Bowl. I want to play Penn State.
Is anybody projecting that for you?
Nah, not that I've seen so far. I've heard some people mention that, but I've not found the actual person that has predicted that. As far as ESPN.com and who they are projecting for Kansas and in Kansas State, let's see. They have... Oh, this isn't bad. Once again, Texas Bowl, Mark Schlabach, Kansas State against Texas A&M. And then this would be good. The Pop-Tarts Bowl, Bonagura has Notre Dame against Kansas State in the Pop-Tarts Bowl down in Orlando. Now, that would be a fun game. That would be a fun matchup. Oh, here you go. Now, here's one. Now you should root for this one. Bonagura has Kansas in the Liberty Bowl against Florida.
Ooh.
Right? That would be. Wouldn't that tickle your fancy?
Okay, you've watched the team. You've watched them more closely than I have. How would Kansas measure up against Florida?
I don't know which Florida's showing up. Let me watch them more closely against Missouri on Saturday.
Okay.
And I'll get back to you. How about this one? In the Guaranteed Rate Bowl in Phoenix, Mark Schlabach has Kansas against Northwestern.
I like that. First of all, going to Arizona, going to the Phoenix area during bowl season, get out of the winter, get into some nice weather. Like it.
So,
last bowl game I attended was the KU game against Minnesota in that Insight Bowl. That was in Tempe.
I've been to an SEC championship game, but I've never been to a bowl game. So that's why I'm at least considering it, depending on what the matchup is and where they play. I would actually consider going. So
it's fun, man. I've been to 2 bowl games in my life, the Orange Bowl and that Insight Bowl, and back-to-back years, and it's fun. It's awesome. You get it's run into all sorts. You being such a big wig within the Missouri umbrella,
not
so
really,
connected with everybody. People come up. The stars from Missouri come to meet you when you're out in public, and you would just be shaking
Incorrect.
hands with people, and everything. You'd have a great time.
Oh, I would have a blast.
Incorrect.
I would have a blast. I'd love it, but we get way ahead of myself now. See, now I'm acting stupid because they still have to beat Florida and Arkansas.
Right. I mean, like, yeah, I wonder how much these bowl projections change, based on what happens over these next two games. Clearly, for you guys, you could be in the SEC championship game.
No, they could not. They already clinched the game.
No?
It's over.
Why do I think that they're not?
I have no idea. You do realize that Georgia's undefeated and Mizzou has 2 losses.
Oh, yeah.
And head-to-head, Georgia has.
I was thinking they were in different divisions.
No, they are not.
Same division.
That's why remember when they played Georgia and we say, hey, this is for the SEC East lead, basically? Yeah. Basically the SEC East title game is what it was.
Well, I just don't think it should be that way. I'm used to the Big 12 where we don't have divisions. Right. There's no rules. You can just
Alabama has already clinched also. There's nothing left to be decided as far as the title game. It's set.
You're telling me it's over. There's no chance.
Well, I mean, they've already announced it. Is what I'm trying to tell you. Now, the Big 12 has changed their rules midstream.
Well,
did you see this?
What's wrong with that?
Well, I'm asking you. What do you think of that?
Oh, I think it's always great to make up the rules as you go. Why make them up ahead of time? Why try to see? You know what? I'm sorry to interrupt you, Stephen, but a legendary figure has just walked into the building here at the
Who is it now?
Alan Mayer.
Oh wow! How about that?
You know Alan Mayer, goalkeepers coach here for the Comets, former Comets star. I can say this. I don't know.
Is he somewhat responsible for Jake Gutierrez?
How much responsibility do you claim for Jake Gutierrez? Oh, boy. Gabe's handing him a headset. I don't know. This is off script here. Are you sure we want to do this, Gabe? Have you?
Off script.
Do you know what?
Gabe doesn't care.
I like that he turned the mic on before he puts the headset on
right.
so we can hear all that sound.
That's cool. Yeah,
there
absolutely.
He is. How are you?
I'm doing great, thank you.
Can you hear Stephen St. John there?
I can indeed. Hi, Stephen. How are you, buddy?
Hello, Alan. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. Getting up here pretty early, like you guys do.
How much responsibility? Yeah, go ahead. How much responsibility do you take for Jake Gutierrez?
Well, I really like Jake a lot, and he was a very, very good goalkeeper. He was a for real goalkeeper.
Yeah.
He had a great career, and I can take zero responsibility for him. But he's as a human being wonderful, but as a player he was outstanding. He played when my son played at St. Thomas Aquinas, and he helped out my son, and it was a good relationship. And I love Jake. He's a good dude.
So he was a baller, huh? He really was.
He was. Yeah? He was. He was probably in my opinion, at that time, one of the best goalkeepers out there.
Had he taken maybe a little bit better care of himself at that time, could have been a pro.
Yeah, probably.
He's told me that.
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
and I sound like
correct.
I'm picking on him, but he's flat out told me that, and I don't think he's wrong. Like everybody that I've talked to, like you, says no, because there are other goalkeepers from the same generation here in Kansas City who made it as pros, and he was every bit as good as those guys, right?
He was indeed. At that age, he was in. I would, if I were to forecast a player's ability and things, he could have made the professional league, no doubt about it. He was that good.
Instead, he went pro on the Border Patrol, Stephen.
Right.
Which is
yes,
sir.
That's good.
You guys are scrimmaging today, right? Here coming up at 8:00. What's in store for the people if they come down here?
Well, I'll tell you, we got a lot of good new players this year. Some young players, some young legs, and it could be making a big difference for us. There's no substitute for speed and along with the older I shouldn't say older players, but the more experienced the veteran players.
Right.
And we got a bunch of good veteran players. So we're expecting a very good year this year, and hopefully people come down and see what we got here.
Stephen, the players have been walking in over the past 20 minutes or so. They all look very young and very fit. I'm feeling very old and very fat sitting here watching that right now. So. Anything else for Alan, Stephen?
You know what? Just keep Nate in line, would you please? Yeah. He's very confused down there. So just.
Well, that's a task I don't think I can handle, but we'll try.
Hey, Alan, always good to talk to you. Thank you so much for
likewise, buddy,
for jumping on the air with us. And Nate, before we break, set the scene. Tell people again where they can come and see you.
Yeah, I'm at the Soccer Dome, which apparently is not north of the river. It's just on the south side of the river, but it's close to the river. Okay, they're nodding at me. I got that part right. Right off 435 and Front Street. If you plug KC Soccer Dome into your navigation system, you'll see it. If you're a soccer player, a soccer fan, I know this will stun you, Stephen, but I used to play here in the league, and I still don't know the best way to describe to get you here. But you'll know how to get here. They are having a big day here today with the Kansas City Comets to celebrate the start of the season, which is coming up on November 26th. Players are getting here right now. You can just come down and watch their scrimmage from 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock. We're giving away tickets. We've already given away 3-4 packs of tickets today. And the first 100 fans to come here by 8 o'clock get free breakfast from IHOP. IHOP's coming in, and they're bringing bacon, eggs, sausage, coffee, and juice, and what I think is a bit of a surprise, pancakes from IHOP. They're gonna bring those as well. So they're doing the jersey unveil. Unveil. They're gonna
Jersey reveal.
Unveil.
Unveiling or a reveal.
Thank you very much. They're doing those two things with the jersey today, all kinds of fun stuff. So, yeah, come see us here at the KC Soccer Dome.
We'll be right back after this on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Welcome back to the Border Patrol on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Thank you to Jay Rieger and Company, Kansas City's original distillery, for sponsoring our live stream on Facebook, X, YouTube, and Twitch. And Jay Rieger and Company wants you to know about their partnership with Mizzou. 6 columns straight bourbon whiskey, perfect for Mizzou tailgates, watch parties, and celebrations, made right here in Missouri. Only from Jay Rieger and Company. Cheers to great whiskey, and cheers to number 9 Mizzou. So, Nate, this article from Barry Tremmel about the Big 12 tiebreaker clarification. He writes, all reasonable people can agree Oklahoma State should win a 3-way tiebreaker, also involving OU and K-State. But the Big 12 tiebreakers cause confusion, and its clarification is sure to inflame Sooner Nation. Oklahoma State is a beneficiary of a Big 12 football tiebreaker clarification by the conference office, potentially to the detriment of OU. A vaguely worded tiebreaker written in the offseason after the Big 12 expanded to 14 members caused the confusion. The policy in question concerned a potential 3-way tie with OU, OSU, and Kansas State, each winning out and finishing 7-2 in the league. Oklahoma State beat both OU and K-State, which would seem to have solved the problem. But no, OU and KSU did not play this season, and the confusing wording in the tiebreaker required interpretation. Here's how the tiebreaker read for at least 3 teams tied. And this is why we were confused by this, and Ty Lebo even couldn't figure it out on Monday. This is exactly what it says. Tell me if this makes sense to you. This is how the tiebreaker read for at least 3 teams tied. Here we go. Head-to-head, best cumulative win percentage in games among the tied teams. If not, every tied team has played each other. Go to step 2. Who wrote that? If not, every tied team has played each other. Go to step 2.
If not every team.
If not, comma, every tied team.
There's a comma?
Yes.
If not what then? I thought it was if not every team is tied, comma, go to step 2.
If not
what?
Comma, every tied team has played each other, comma, go to step 2.
Commas are important, ladies and gentlemen. I'm trying to explain that to my kids. Commas completely change the meaning of a sentence.
Barry Tremmel writes, who wrote that tiebreaker? A 4th grader? More on that gibberish later. And the Big 12's complete failure to produce clear tiebreakers. Who wrote that? Borat?
I would say one of my middle school kids while texting someone. Punctuation is a mystery.
If not, every tied team has played each other. I mean, what is this?
I assume that comma's not supposed to be there. I assume what it's supposed to mean is if not every team is tied, comma, you go to step 2.
Does that make sense?
Not every team has played each other.
If not every tied team has played each other, that doesn't even sound right. If not every tied team has played each other.
Right. I mean, I think what I would think that means, though, is if there's 3 teams that are tied and they haven't all played each other.
It shouldn't be left up to what we think and what it might be. It needs to be written clearly.
100%, man. I'm telling you, commas matter. They matter in sentences. That's why you end up in this situation. Periods matter. They all were invented for a reason, these punctuation marks.
The original 3-way tiebreaker interpretation gave, and this is written from the Oklahoma perspective, gave OU a path to the title game pending favorable results of other conference games. The Big 12 now clarified how it will apply the head-to-head tiebreaker when more than 2 teams are tied. If one of the teams is unbeaten against the other tied teams, that team advances. So that clarification screws OU and or K-State.
I'm all for screwing OU. Like I really like screw them, you know. Like I feel like you know what, you're not in the Big 12 championship game no matter what, because you're a turncoat and you left.
He said said last week he corresponded with a Big 12 source to get clarification on what tiebreaker meant, and he said he was eventually told that because OU and K-State did not play each other, OSU's sweep of the Sooners and Wildcats was nullified.
Okay.
And that's what was clarified now. Now it's not nullified. Dude, that's why we couldn't figure this out on Monday, because it wasn't clear.
Well, first of all, the process is stupid. Like the Big 12 has never gotten it right. I mean, like, I guess back when they had I shouldn't say that. Back when they had two divisions, and you had a division champ on each side, and those division champs played each other, that's the right way to go, because nobody's playing nobody's playing the exact same schedule. Nobody's playing everybody, so you have to sort it out by who won their division. Then, of course, they went to the conference where you played everybody. And for a year or two, they decided that, you know, we're not going to have a Big 12 championship game because everybody plays everybody. But then they had a tie, and remember their system's so Big 12. Then their motto was one true champion. And then what happened? They had teams tied, and they refused to declare a champion.
It's like there's one guy that keeps showing up in my timeline, even though I don't follow him, named Tyler. I'll just say Tyler. He writes about K-State, and his profile pics him with a K-State Hawaiian shirt on. So I'm going to guess he's a K-State guy.
Okay.
He says, so the Big 12 is mulling a midseason rule change that could potentially knock K-State out of the Big 12 title game. Changing tiebreaker rules in November is a worse transgression than having bad tiebreaker rules in the first place. I've avoided this topic until now because K-State still has two very difficult games ahead. This might not end up mattering. But seriously, taking whiteout to the Big 12 rulebook at this stage is unbelievable. Mid-season rule changes should not be possible. Brett Yormark has been great for the Big 12 Conference, but this is a black eye. No respected sports organization changes their rules 11 days before the season ends. This is beer league softball stuff. I'm just going to let you know, in case so you'll know, because you're going through Sunflower Showdown right now.
Right.
K-State, there's some K-State people that are hot. There's some Oklahoma people that are hot. There's some Oklahoma State people that are not hot. They are cool.
All right, the Sunflower Showdown.
So there you go. That's what we know about it. So thanks to the Big 12 for making sense of everything now. I can't wait till Lebo gets here. See how pissy he is about this. We'll take a break back after this on WHB.